Hello everyone and welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Mel and in this video we're going to be playing my TBR game for the first time this year. That's right, TBR Bluff is back. I am so excited to be busting the game back out again. So if you guys are new here and you have no idea what TBR Bluff is, this is the board. I did create a new board last year. I don't know if I'm going to give you a new board this year. I think I'm going to just stick with this one because I like this board right now, but don't hold me to that. I could end up changing my mind. But basically, if you have no idea what the rules are or you want to watch me play TBR Bluff more, there is going to be a playlist linked down in the description box for you guys to check out. Basic rules are I can roll up to 3 times. And on the third time, whatever I've got is what I get. If I want to just take the roll on the first roll, that's fine, but I do have up to 3 rolls. Once I've used a prompt, I cover it up with a sticky note. The board is cleared once I have gotten 5 in a row. If we get to a point where I roll the die and I cannot find a corresponding prompt to go with the die, then I have to spin the spinner wheel of doom. And basically there's going to be 5 books on there that I want, 5 books on there that I don't want to read. And then I also have to add a roll. I'm not sure that I'm going to do punishment rolls this year or not. I have not fully decided on that yet. Basically a punishment roll is just I add a roll to the TBR if I did not finish my TBR from the month before. I'm not using that in the month of February because even though I did a couple of rolls for my TBR in January, it was a very loose TBR. It wasn't really like this is my hardcore TBR. So we're not going to take that into February, especially since I did not finish it. I do have a decent amount of required reads that I need to get on for this month. 4 of those are just going to be SPFBO books, which you guys have heard me say a million times in one that I need to read. SPFBO is the self-fantasy published blog off. I am reading all of the finalists and I need to get my first vlog up for the first 5 ASAP. Other than that, I am going to be participating in 2 readathons in the month of February. The first one is 72 hours in the Reading Nook. That's right, 72 hours is back. I'm going to be hosting this with Cassidy from Covers with Cassidy, Lexi from Books with Lexi, and then our co-host guest joining us for this round is Monica from A Little Bit of Monica. All of their channels will be linked down in the description box if you guys are interested in checking them out. This is a good time to plug the bookmarks. If you guys are interested in those, all of the information again is going to be down in the description box, but we do have 2 colorway bookmarks for you guys that say I can't read without sprints. There is a bundle for these if you're interested in getting both colorways. I love them. I will be using them all month. I'll link my announcement video for Reading Nook down in the description box in case you guys are interested and want to check it out, but it's going to be happening the weekend of February 22nd to February 25th. Then I'm also going to be participating in Horror-a-thon, which is a 24-hour horror readathon hosted by Ashley from Ashley's Little Library. I believe this one is the 10th and 11th or the 9th and 10th. I can't remember. I will link her video down in the description box as well. This is an editing mail because I'm literally the worst friend ever and forgot to mention that Lexi from Books with Lexi is also going to be co-hosting Horror-a-thon. I don't know how I forgot that. I am the worst. So I'm sorry, Lexi, but she is also going to be co-hosting Horror-a-thon. So if you just need a month of Lexi, February is your month. But again, everybody's channels are going to be linked down in the description for you guys to check out. 24 hours of reading horror. I'm going to be doing a 24-hour reading challenge and trying to participate in that as much as I can. Other than that, I do have several required reads that I need to get on the TBR for this month, but I'm gonna try to get them into the rolls. If I don't get them into the rolls, then we will talk about them afterward. Some things that are related to readathons, other things that are book clubs, and just stuff that I generally need to get on the TBR. I also should mention that I'm going to be a co-host for the Lights Out Book Club in the month of February. This is hosted by Sav from Riveting Reads. We'll get into the book and the nitty-gritty and all of that I need to read if I can't get it onto the rolls TBR. So I guess without further ado, let's just jump into our first roll. Okay guys, so we are starting the month with a clean board. This is the first TBR Bluff of 2024. So we can just do our first roll and hopefully it won't be too hard to find a pick. TBR Bluff roll number 1. Okay, so we got 2 3s. Actually, we got a full house for this one, and I actually recognize the full house, go me, but that is next in the rainbow, and I don't have, this is the first roll, so I don't have anything to pick for next in the rainbow, but I do think I'm going to pick this, and we'll just go off of the next in the rainbow from my current read. Okay, so for TBR Bluff roll number 1, we got a full house. I am getting so much better at recognizing those. Look at me go. If you guys have been hanging around on my channel for a while, then you may have seen a couple of TBR Bluffs where I missed a full house, probably 3 or 4 TBRs in a row. So somebody pat me on the back. I did a good job. This prompt has changed since the original prompt, and now it is the next in a rainbow. And normally I hate landing on this prompt first because I don't have a book to show you guys to do next in the rainbow. So I'm just gonna do my current read. Currently, as of filming this video right now, my current read is Swordcatcher by Cassandra Clare. I don't have the book with me. I'm not really sure what I did with it. I know it's around here somewhere. But you guys will be able to see the cover up here. I am looking at it on my phone, and I think that my copy is just the standard copy, so it's a primarily red cover. When we're talking about next in the rainbow, we go Roy G. Biv, which means I need an orange cover. Oh dear God. Orange. Orange. What books are orange? Orange is hard. Okay, I'm gonna have to think about that. Hang tight. Okay, so what I am realizing is I don't have a lot of orange books. I have some orange and orange on them, but I don't have a lot that's just like orange on the cover. So we've got a couple of different options for this one. The first one is the Phoenix King by Aparna Verma. This is a new adult fantasy series that I've really not heard a ton of people talking about, but I am super excited to try it. It's Indian inspired, which I really want to read more of. The Phoenix is orange. I know that the like background is black, but the Phoenix is orange. I feel like this is black and orange. I don't know, but this is option number 1. Option number 2 might be stretching it just a little bit, and that is The Last to Leave the Room by Caitlin Starling. This one I feel like blends. So we have yellow and we have red and we ombre, so in the middle is orange. That's my thought process. I don't know if this is an accurate thought process, but I feel like this part, this middle part, is pretty orangey to me. And then the other option that I could go with is Flame and Sparrow by S.M. Gaither. I am wanting to read a ton of fantasy romance in February. It's Pharaoh Feb, it's romance month, so I just feel like this is a good choice. But we have 24-hour horathon, and this just sounds really good. So like, what do I go with? What do I go with? Plus this is chunky. Chunky. I think what I'm going to do for this one is I'm not going to decide right now. I'm going to put up a poll for my Patrons. I'm going to let them vote, and then I will put up down here what they ended up going with, and that's the book that I'm going to pick for this month. Okay, TBR Bluff roll number 2. So we have 2 6s and 2 1s for that one, which is a dual timeline. I think I can make that work, but should we choose chaos? Because I feel like otherwise this TBR is going to be kind of boring. So we're going to choose chaos, and I'm going to randomly keep the 6s and roll everything else. So we didn't get anything out of that, so one more time. That one gave us nothing again. So please tell me, yes, 2 6s is still on the board, and it is a 5-star prediction, which this year we are bringing the 5-star energy. We are trying to make sure that I'm reading books that I love, so I'm going to embrace this prompt. So next up we got 5-star prediction. We are setting the tone of 2024 reading books I think I'm going to love. I do not know what I want to pick for this. I never know what I want to pick for this. This prompt is the hardest prompt on the board for me, but one I am determined to get better at. So, what do I want to pick? What do I want to pick? I think I'm going to go with another romantasy for this one and actually choose The Ever King by L.J. Andrews. I've seen this book popping up everywhere lately and have really been excited to read it. It does have several buzzwords for me. We have the villain gets the girl. We have, I'm assuming it's enemies to lovers because he is the villain. There's pirates, there's sirens, there's fae. I think it has some very, very dark tones to it. And Rachel from Ravenhair Reader did recently absolutely adore this book. And she and I have pretty similar romantasy tastes. So I think that we can make this work. I think that this could be a 5-star. So for this prompt, we're going to go with The Ever King. Fingers crossed that I'm right. If I'm not, I don't know my taste. What else is new? TBR Bluff, roll number 3. Wow, we love the 6s. That one was 3 6s and a 5 and a 2. 3 6s is a debut author. I actually think I can make that one work, and I really need to get this particular book on the TBR, so we're going to choose that one. So next up we got debut author, and for this one I think I'm going to be using the Lights Out Book Club pick, which is This Wretched Valley by Jenny Kiefer. I looked it up and it looks like this is her debut like full-length novel. I don't see where she's ever published anything on her own before, so I'm going to consider her a debut author from this standpoint. If you've never participated in the Lights Out Book Club, it's a ton of fun. It's hosted by Sav, who I will leave linked down below. I think we're also going to be joined by Ashley from Ashley's Little Library, which is very exciting since we're going to be participating in her readathon this month. And This Wretched Valley is one that I had never heard about, and it's about 4 ambitious hikers climbing a mountain in the Kentucky wilderness, and after they leave 7 months later, there are 3 mangled bodies discovered. We're trying to figure out whether their deaths are simple accidents or whether it's something a little bit more sinister. It is a horror survival novel, and I don't think I've read anything like this before. It sounds really interesting, and I cannot wait to pick this up. TBR Bluff, roll number 4. Okay, so that time we got 2 5s, a 1, a 3, and a 6. So I'm going to keep the 2 5s and we're going to roll again. Another 5, a 1, and a 4. So what is 3 5s? That is Steal a Book. And I don't know if anybody has a TBR out yet, and I hate to always use the same people's TBRs for Steal a Book, but I love that prompt. I think I'm gonna roll one more time, and we're gonna keep 2 of the 5s and roll the rest. Wow, okay, Steal a Book it is. Our next prompt is Steal a Book, and this is not in the spirit of what I totally wanted it to be, but at the time of filming this, nobody else's TBRs have come out yet. I just happen to know that Cassidy's Patreon is going to be reading Age of Myth in the month of February, and basically I can steal this off of any of her patrons, my patrons that are participating. I can steal it off of her TBR, so I think I'm going to go with Age of Myth by Michael J. Sullivan for this one. I've not read anything by Michael J. Sullivan before. I actually own Theft of Swords, but haven't picked it up yet. I know that this and Theft of Swords are in the same world, but it doesn't matter which series you pick up first. Both of them can be read in any order. I don't really know what this is about, but we're gonna find out together. Humans that have worshipped the gods they called fairy, they are truly a race apart, invincible in battle, masters of magic, and seemingly immortal. But when a god falls to a human blade, the power balance gets shifted, and those that they thought were gods changes forever. Now, if you stand between humankind and annihilation, we've got Wraith, who is a reluctant god killer. We have Suri, who is a young seer, and we have Persephone, who must overcome her personal tragedy and try to lead her people. The Age of Myth is over. The rebellion has begun. This has multiple buzzwords in it for me. Gods, rebellion, I'm here for it. I'm excited. I cannot wait to pick this up. Okay, and then our final roll, TBR Bluff, roll number 5. That one got us a 3 5s, a 6, and a 1. I don't want 3 5s again, so I'm just going to reroll the whole hand. Why not? That got me 2 1s, a 5, a 6, and a 4. So we've got one more roll. I'm going to keep the 2 1s and reroll the rest. 2 4s and a 5. So we have 2 1s and 2 4s, which is a non-Western setting. I can make that work perfectly. Okay, so this is the ending of our first board of the year. We have already got a few like in the same row, which honestly makes me super, super happy because I want this board cleared obviously as fast as possible, but we're gonna see what March holds. March is going to be a very busy month. I'm gonna have a lot of specific books that I need to get on here, so March is gonna be a little insane, but this is what we're working with for now. Our next prompt got us a non-Western setting, and for this one I'm going to be using Sons of Darkness by Guhav Mahatni. This is a book that I have had on my want to read, on my TBR, on my potentials for, I don't know, 3 or 4 months now. It just came out in January in the US, but I've actually had this copy from Broken Binding for a while now. It has absolutely stunning edges, and the US copy, the first print, does as well. This is also an Indian-inspired fantasy, which I don't really know a lot about. I've read the blurb probably 18 times, and I still don't know what it's about. so we're all just gonna find out together when I read it this month, but I've heard a lot of really good things about it. I know it has multi-points of view that all seem very, very separate until the end where they come together. I've read the prologue of this and it was just a really cool magic system, but also a lot all at the same time. It seemed like there might have been portal worlds and like a portal fantasy aspect to it. Not really sure, but I am excited to pick this up. So we will all be reading this together in the month of February, and then I will also be having a live show with everyone where they get to come on and we're all just gonna have like an in-person / virtual live show. It's gonna be great. Those are all of the books on the official TBR. I did manage to get most of my required reads on there. We had Sons of Darkness, we had Age of Myth, we got Wretched Valley. I definitely want to read a lot of romantasy during 72 hours. There are several horror that I also have on my potential TBR. But other than that, required reads at this point are just SPFBO books, which I just need to make a priority. I just need to sit down, I need to knock them out, I need to make them a priority. Okay, so this is my TBR. We have a couple of placeholder books. Obviously, the Phoenix King is going to be just whatever wins the poll. Then we have the Ever King, we have this Wretched Valley, and obviously Age of Myth on the top. So I think I've got a pretty solid TBR for this month, not including SPFBO reads, which honestly adds a relatively hefty page count, but I've done it to myself. I have done this to myself. Let me know what you are going to be reading in the month of February. Are you going to be leaning into the romantasy, or is your cold dead heart going to get as far away from that romance as it possibly can? I absolutely want to know down in the comments below. If you're interested, check out some more of TBR Bluff. It's always a ton of fun to watch me squirm and to see what kind of chaos we get up to. If you just want to let me know that you were here, leave me a heart emoji for the month of February. As always, links to my Patreon, Instagram, Twitter, and Goodreads are down in the description box below. Give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe if you want to. I will see you guys next time. Bye!